Improving the rule of law sounds esoteric, but really what it is about building security and stability in other countries. It's having police forces that work, that we can interact with. It's having less corrupt regimes, and corruption is one of the main causes of revolution, guerrilla insurgency, and it's supporting human rights, which is of course an American value and goal. One of the problems is that we're focused on the wrong things. We tend to focus on laws and institutions, on technocratic means, but really the core of the rule of law is about power structures. Are you checking and balancing power? Is the government willing to bow to law? Are there big mafias or other criminal interests that are not willing to bow to law? How do you check them? And in every country where you've actually built the rule of law, from the United States, which had some real problems back in the 1800s, to countries like Chile, it's about getting into the power structures and also changing the culture to be more respectful of the rule of law. There's a lot that we can do to improve how we build the rule of law and make our programs better. On the one hand, speaking about the United States, Congress could do a lot more to provide flexibility to program designers, because when you're talking about power structures, it's not like building a road. You have to be responsive to politics, to election cycles, to helping a reformer, to getting in there when a corruption scandal just erupts and you have a window of opportunity. In other countries, the same thing. They need more flexibility in their aid dollars. Diplomacy can help. If we push not on some singular law, but if we push in general for allowing NGOs to operate so they can check power, if we push in general for the EU, for instance, to be able to uphold its rules of membership, which say that you have to have the rule of law, those sorts of things can do quite a lot. So US policymakers have a broad range of tools at their disposal, and using more of those tools would be very beneficial. But most importantly, they need to use them together. We have over 28 agencies that work on the rule of law. And as you might imagine, they're often uncoordinated, they're often doing different things, so one hand is doing one thing and the other's doing the other. One of the really interesting things about rule of law work is that it's not that expensive. This is very cheap, much cheaper than dealing with a revolution after it's already happened. And in fact, the programs that cost more often backfire, and that's because the people attracted to programs that cost a lot of money tend to be somewhat more venal people. And so you get the wrong people in the room when you're trying to do reform on the other side. One of the things we need to change internally is to help people realize that even if you're managing a small budget, you might be doing a very important program. We often aggrandize those managing big budget programs and say, oh, you're just managing a $300,000 program? Well, that's small potatoes, give that to the intern. In fact, with governance reform, it's often the cheaper programs that do more.